Hey everyone, Lauren from A Girl in Her Wool here, of course. So today I'm going to show you guys a little bit more of my craft journal and then kind of reflect back on March, talk about what's coming up for my craftiness in April, and then show you guys the May sticker kits that I have in my shop. So if you haven't seen this before, I started a craft journal this year where I've just been tracking my projects, goals, tracking kind of my plans for the year, things I've finished, and all of that. And it's just been so much fun, and the way that I find that I'm able to do it is by using sticker kits that I have in my shop. So you can kind of see some of the ones that I've pulled the stickers off of that I've been using. And it just makes it pretty, but I can just write my notes in and use it functionally, but it still kind of, looks nice. So what I've been doing is I have a month page for each one, and then I'll have these project highlight pages where I kind of write more notes about my project. So this is kind of where we left off last month. So this is a page that I have set up for the sweater I made for my niece, which you guys would have seen, and I'll link to the Faux Friday post I did about it. So all I did was really kind of reflect on finishing up the sweater, and then I had done this modification section down below, so that's there as well. Put on my cast off date. I have my gauge pre-blocking. I didn't write down my gauge post-blocking, so I'm going to find out what that is and add that in there, but otherwise this page is good to go. I've also gone on to Ravelry and added some of these notes onto there too, just so it is tracked like in that database. But what's nice about it is like I can still flip through here, but I can also have my notes available to other people and all of that stuff through Ravelry. So then I have my March page, and starting in March I expanded it to the 2 pages, which is really nice. This is a small notebook. It's 5.5 by 8 inches, and so it's really nice that I brought it to the 2 pages this time. So we started that last time, so wanted to let you guys know that worked really well. So just kind of reflecting back on March, some of my crafty goals was to finish my niece's sweater, which I did, work on the Caledania shawl, which I'll talk about, launch the Rainbow Club, and get going on some kits, crochet kits for sample knitters to work up so I can have those in my shop. So I'll kind of reflect on that in a second. The whips that I had ongoing this month were a pair of vanilla socks. So you guys see, I work on those while I'm dyeing, so you would have seen those in Day in the Lives or Dye With Me sometimes. My niece's sweater was obviously a whip, and I cast on a new project, which again we'll talk about in a little bit. And then I finished my niece's sweater. And then one thing you'll see here, sorry, let me just move this down a little bit. But one thing you'll see here, I just added strips just for decoration along the bottom too. So again, it looks nice, but I don't feel like I have to fill up all of the space. And so then I left this page open for notes. And so I just kind of sat down. It's not quite March 31st yet, but that's fine. Reflected back on the month. So this month I really got back into knitting. Before this, I wasn't knitting as much, and that was okay. I wasn't going to push for it. I was busy and I would be tired and I didn't want to work on things. But this month I really got back into the groove of it. The shop has slowed down a bit. I think that's kind of expected coming out of winter and moving into spring. And so that kind of just freed up some of my crafting time. So I did finish the sweater, which is good because my niece's birthday is early April, and so I wanted to get that mailed out in time for her birthday, which I did. So I cast on the Modulancho, which I really just cast it on right at the end of the month, but it counts. So I just wrote about how I was able to knit most days, which again is kind of a nice thing for me considering I hadn't been able to. And so I really just worked on Hannah's sweater through completion. I really wanted to get that done before her birthday. I didn't want it to be this long-term project. I wanted to get it to her. Kids grow fast. And then I worked pretty much solely on the mystery knit along, other than like, again, working on those vanilla socks. I did get through, so again, I have an advanced copy. The Mystery Knit Along starts this Friday, April 1st. That's when the first clue will drop, and I think then they drop every Friday this month. There are 5 clues, and so I'll be posting on Friday or Saturday my finished clue that dropped either that day or the day before. And so I really wanted to get ahead, so I'm actually now through clue 3 and on clue 4. And it's the end of March. So my goal is to, and we'll talk about that a little bit more, but I really wanted to work solely on that to get that pretty much ahead of schedule so I can post photos as the Mystery Knit Along is going on. And so then just like reflecting on some of my goals for this month, so what I had written up here, so I wanted to finish a male Hannah sweater, so I did that. Work on the Caledania shawl. I just kind of talked about how I started clue 4, so I'm definitely on schedule for that. I wanted to launch the Rainbow Club, which I did. If you guys haven't checked that out, you can purchase the Rainbow Club through April 10th. If you check out my most recent day in the life, the last like 2 minutes of that video I spend talking about the Rainbow Club. It's a 3-month club. You purchase it all up front, but each month on or around the 15th, a shipment will go out with a different rainbow inspired skein, and the 3 skeins will actually fade. So it'll be a lot of fun. I hope you go check it out. Of course, you can do it on any size skeins, so you can get minis or large skeins, and I even opened it up like with the extra large skeins. So if you wanted to do this as like a baby blanket or a blanket for yourself or a sweater, you can do that with the large skeins. And the last goal was the crochet kits, which I haven't done. I am still working on like the next round of samples, but I had a lot out that people are working on, and I kind of wanted to get those back and like make sure this process was working before I really sent out another one. So I had a lot of due dates of March 31st, so I should be getting them all soon, like in the next couple of weeks. And then I'm gonna really kind of get the next round going again. I have a few projects actually dyed up and ready to go. I just wanted to hold off before I had like so many out there at once. So that was March. Again, it was a pretty productive month for me. I only finished 1 project, but for me that's great. I knit a child sweater. I started it in February, so it wasn't entirely in March, but I felt like it was really productive. Again, I'm really far through the Mystery Knit Along, and I started the Modulancho because I've given myself 2 weeks to knit clue 4, which is going to be more than enough time, and so I wanted to just get something else on the needles and change it up a little bit, so that's why I cast that on. And I also, so I have like this page where I'm tracking plans and projects. So I have now 3 finished objects, and you're going to see these texts here. This is a new kit that I'm have in the shop, this project categories kit. So that way you have all of those that you can, instead of writing them down, you can use that. Of course you can write them down too. I just prefer to write as little as possible. And then you can see here for my totals, I use them, so those will be kind of the headers for the totals. Moving along, so I have another project highlight page that I did off camera in terms of the talking. So this is the Caledania shawl, the Mystery Knit Along. So I'm going to insert a clip here of me setting it up, but first I'm just going to let you know all I used was the project highlight kit. So wanted to show you don't actually need to really get anything else other than these project highlight kits if you don't want to set up this whole page. As I do the notes throughout the month, I will use the labels, the matching labels for this kit, but you don't need to. You could just write the kit notes. So just want to mention that. So I'm going to put in the clip here really quick of me kind of getting it set up, and then I'll talk about it for a second. So I do have notes that I plan to add to this, which I will. I just didn't want to, you know, I can't talk about the pattern, so I didn't want to do that on camera. So I wanted to show this to you guys. I'm gonna add in the notes. You see here, I did this modification section with Hannah's sweater at the bottom, and I liked having that. So I set that up. And I left a couple of lines so I can always add in anything. I don't plan to make any modifications to patterns that I'm using like as samples, because I don't want someone to see it and then think they're gonna make exactly the same project and then like they can't because I made modifications to it. The only thing I did was I changed the needle size to match gauge, so not a big deal. Not like a modification really to the pattern. So I'm going to come in here, make notes off camera, and I'll share this page more with you guys when the knit along is released. But I got that set up, and again, I used the project highlight kits are not specific to a month. This was the January kit. Like you even see the label say January 1. But you can use the project highlights anytime, and you can actually use any of the kits anytime. And I use a navy blue, so if I'm using my spring set, so you can see the 4 colors here. So because of midnight, that's why I used this kit. So that is that. So before we set up April, I'm actually going to go in and set up my Q2 goals, because I've been, when you guys know this from the beginning of the month, and I'm actually going to be doing a reflection on Q1 here on my channel in the next like couple weeks. I think one of the videos next week will be a reflection video. But I talked a lot about at the beginning of the year how, and I'm going to go ahead and get this set up. So I have the 2021 strips. And, oh, actually one thing I want to talk about while I'm doing this. So when I first set up these kits, I made them so that they're a little perforated, so you hear like, it kind of rips as I pull it off. The reason why I did that was because I thought with shipping and everything, it would last longer if I did it that way. But I've also changed it, so now and I'll show it with the, when I set up the April kit, but even these words here, it's a little, like you have to rip a little bit, and it doesn't rip the sticker or anything, it just kind of wasn't completely cut through. And the reason for that was because I wanted to, you know, make it like last longer and with the shipping and not have them fall off the pages, but I've since changed them so they don't do that anymore. So I've taken off the, could I fit both? Okay. So what I've done, I have a quarter, so if you want to set up quarterly goals, you can do that. But I actually want the word goals in there, so I took a 2021 kit. Maybe I shouldn't do this because I don't sell it that way. If you guys want to see like a little one like this that just has like big versions of goals so you can add goals to it, let me know. I can do that, but I'm just gonna rip this. I don't have a scissor nearby, so we're just gonna do this. Okay. A little bit bigger too, that's fine. And so just, I'm not doing that perforation anymore. So ripping the stickers, especially with some of these smaller words, it'll be a little bit easier because I'm just doing it like smooth cut around. So just wanted to throw that out there. So the 2 April kits that, again, if you haven't picked up your April kits yet, you can now. These were the 2 options for April. However, you can use any month that you want, and I didn't pull any of them, but all of these, I have the month headers available, so you can get this color and it can say any month. So if you want to use this in May, you can, and then if you get the month header kit, you can just then pull May off of there. So I'm going to use this for April, and this is where I wanted to show you guys how I changed it. So you can see on here, like there's no ripping, it just comes off really easily. So that's the change that I made to the stickers moving forward, so it won't be perforated, if I'm saying that word right. Probably this whole time I am not saying that word right. Okay, so this is my April kit, and I'm going to do crafty goals. So my crafty goals for April, again, this is going to be slightly repetitive because it's the first month of the quarter, but I want to finish the Caledenia shawl, and I want to, you know, post along the way, just do the social media for it. And those kits will be available definitely through the end of the mystery knit along, and even a little bit after. So I have the spring kit, which is what I'm using, and then the fall kit, depending on what months you're headed into. I also have a shop update this Friday, so you can hear more about all of that. So that's an April goal. That is all set up and ready to go, which is fun. So yeah, so all kinds of kits, and what I love about it is there's no format, so you can really set it all up on your own. You can have as many project highlights as you have projects, and yeah, actually I should also set up a page for the Modulancho, but I will do that another time. So the last thing I'm going to show you guys are the May kits, which are now live in the shop. So I didn't make any changes other than how I'm kind of cutting them to make them a little bit more smoother. So I'm going to show you guys the kits. There's no new pages or anything, but I do have those text pages. So even I have, like this one I was showing you guys that I'm using, but then I also have the sheets for all of them separately. So if you're a big sock knitter, like if all you knit is socks, you might want just the socks page. So yeah. So this is the first May kit. So this is May kit number 1. Okay, so let me put some context here first. May is my birthday month, so you guys are going to be hearing all about that. I'm going to be doing a lot of fun, different things in the shop because it's my birthday in May. So anyway, the first one is a really fun and springy one. I haven't done too much with brown, and this is like a really taupey light brown. And of course has those like pretty springy flowers on it. So I thought that one was so pretty. Let me show you the strips page because it's just so pretty. I'm torn between what I'm gonna use as my May kit for now. But anyway, so that's May kit 1. And then of course the labels, the project highlight page, which again, you can mix and match. You don't have to use these in there, but now this is a new project highlight page that you have to use. And again, because I am cutting it differently, the words just like come off much easier, which I find better before because they're so small. Yeah, but I'm finding they're holding up on the page. They're not like falling off, which is what I was worried about originally and why I did it that way. And then the month headers page. So this is what I was talking about before. If you love this kit and you want to even use it for April, you can buy it for April, buy this, and you can use the April script there. So that's what I was talking about before. So that's May 1. Okay, and then the May 2nd kit, this is where I'm talking about my birthday. So one of my favorite colors is coral, and one of my favorite combinations is navy and coral. I think I've talked about that, especially with the Drakenfell shawl that I knit. So that's what I used for May kit number 2. This is why I can't decide which one I like better. So May kit number 2, again, it's not like a pinky pink, it's definitely a coral. It's got like the orange hues to it, so it's really nice. So let me show you both next to each other. So the 2 May kits, and I'm seriously torn. So here's the project highlight page for that, and I honestly thought about using this for the Caledania shawl because I use pinks and navies, but I also really liked the 1st January kit. So the labels that go along with it, there's really only 2 colors in this, so I kind of pulled in a darker version of the coral, which I thought like just looks so pretty. And then the strips and the headers. So that's the May update. Nothing really new to, no new pages really that I added in this month. So just those 2 springy kits that I'm obsessed with and really excited about. And if you haven't given the kits a try, you should. It's just been a lot of fun. I take a few minutes to jot notes down, and it's already so fun to flip back through and look through. And if you're not a goals person, like, you don't have to use the goals kits. That's what I like. There's no dedicated pages to goals. If you just want to use only project highlights, you can. The other thing I just want to remind you guys with the project highlight kits is I made it so that you can actually write on them. So if you look in my notebook, when I do the project highlights, I use the project highlight sticker and I use the pattern here. But the reason why I kind of lightened it up like that was if you don't want to use this project highlight title, you can just write in there like Caledania shawl. So when you're flipping through, you can like easily see the project names. Especially if you work on a lot of projects, it might be nice to like just flip through and see Caledania shawl, Easter children cardigan, or Hannah sweater, whatever you're gonna call it, like Amber O'Brien mystery knit along. You can do that without using like the actual project highlight text there. And then I kind of give you everything you need. So that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, the May kits are now available at agirlandherwool.com. The April kits are there too if you haven't picked those up yet, as well as all of the sheets that I've offered so far this year. So if you like the January project kits and so on, you can certainly use one of those too. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys on Friday where we're doing our yarn shop update. So make sure you stick around for that. Thanks so much. Bye.